Are you stuck in a bit of a content rut, consistently creating and distributing the same content that you've been doing for years and not sure if it's still working as best it could? Maybe it's time to review your content strategy and make some changes. That's what we did. Keep listening to find out how. You're listening to the Content 10x podcast, where it's all about content repurposing. I'm Amy Woods, and I'm here to help you maximize your content and find smart ways to get your message in front of more of the right people, whilst also saving time. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to the Content 10x podcast. I'm Amy Woods, the founder of Content 10x and your host for this podcast episode, and in fact all episodes of the Content 10x podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you're tuning in for the first time, in case a very warm welcome, or if you're a long-term listener, in which case welcome back friend, it's nice to be speaking with you. I am very excited to cover this topic with you today. The Content 10x podcast is all about content repurposing, and specifically how we can make the most of our content and really maximize its value and distribute it in the most effective ways. In this episode, I'm going to be looking at the importance of regularly reviewing the content that you're putting out there and taking you through some of the changes we've made off the back of our annual content review and why we made those changes. I'm going to cover how to go about reviewing your content outputs, some of the changes we're making since reviewing ours, and why we decided to make these changes. But before I get to the main content, just to mention some exciting news, we have been updating our super popular Content 10x toolkit. The toolkit is packed full of checklists, video tutorials, step-by-step guides and more, helping you to repurpose your content. So really showing you, not just telling you, but showing you in hands-on and practical ways how you can repurpose your video content, audio content and more. If you want to grab your copy of the toolkit, then go over to content10x.com/toolkit. It's 100% updated and ready to help you. Right, okay, as I was saying, in the super fast-paced world of content creation, it's easy to get caught up in the cycle of producing content after content without pausing to assess its impact and relevance. Now, I'm not suggesting that you're just chucking out content without consideration, but it's easy to get stuck in that tried and tested formula for too long without stopping and taking a step back and saying, hey, is this even working? We've certainly found ourselves doing that before. So it's important to regularly review and adapt your content strategy because your audience demographic may have changed, people's preferences change, platforms and algorithms certainly have changed. Let's face it, trends are always shifting as well. So how do you go about reviewing things? Well, here's 3 things we always consider. First and foremost, data is your best friend. Collect and analyse every available piece of information about how your content is performing. Dive deep into the metrics from page views to likes and shares in order to identify what's resonating with your audience and what's falling flat. The numbers won't lie and they'll guide you towards making informed decisions, although do bear in mind that just because something can be measured doesn't always make it the most important thing to consider. That brings me on to number 2, so gather the feedback as well. Your team and your audience are invaluable sources of insight, so have the conversations, actually speak with people, speak with the content creators in your team, see what they think is working, get their opinion and views, and similarly listen to your audience, so go beyond the data, get the data but go beyond the data as well. And thirdly, keep an eye on industry trends and generally what you see working for others. So look at what's working in your industry, in your niche, what emerging platforms or content formats are gaining traction. Stay informed about industry developments because it's crucial to do that in order to stay competitive and relevant. Okay, so now that we've established the importance of reviewing your content strategy, I thought I'd share some of the changes that we're making at Content 10x because we believe in practicing what we preach, and these changes are aimed at better serving our audience. Okay, change number 1, we're shaking up our podcast timetable. At the moment, we've done a mix of guest interviews and solo short episodes like this, where it's been 1 guest interview followed by 3 solo episodes, and that's the schedule that we followed for quite some time. Now, we've seen that you really value the guest episodes, so we'll step it up a notch, and now we'll feature 1 guest interview episode followed by 2 solo episodes. And all episodes in those 3 episode cycles will be based on a central theme that comes from the guest episode. This will allow us to go deeper into valuable topics. As I said, we've noticed our audience enjoy both guest and solo episodes equally, so we hope this change resonates with you. We hope that you are happy about it, and we believe that having these themes, so having a key guest episode that goes into a particular topic and has a really great expert on to talk about that, followed by 2 solo episodes where we go deeper into aspects of that theme, is going to help us add even more valuable content. It's going to help us share even more valuable content. Okay, change number 2, we're getting rid of content types that take up a lot of time but don't engage our audience. A big part of our assessment was how much time does it take and how much return do we get. So with that being said, it's goodbye to Twitter threads, goodbye to memes, certain episode graphics that we were creating, and things like our posts on international repurposing news stories. Sometimes you just have to recognise when it's time to let go. Now, we'll still share the odd meme because if done well, everybody loves a good meme, but only when we see the chance to jump on a trending meme and when it works, so nothing forced. So they're just some of the types of content that we're going to move away from. Change number 3. We're continuing with image carousels on Instagram and LinkedIn because we think they are a great way to visually share our thoughts and ideas and repurpose the podcast episodes and content we create. But we're simplifying our design. After examining what works, we decided that they are currently a little bit too wordy. The design needs to be streamlined. So we're actually going to spend a little less time on them and see if in turn engagement goes up. Wouldn't that be nice? So that's what we are going to monitor. Change number 4, we're doubling down on social media videos. Expect shorter, higher quality videos with eye-catching captions, B-roll footage and expressive emojis. These videos will be available and shared on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn and to a lesser degree, Twitter or X I should say. These short engaging videos are where it's at on social media. We know that and we're spending more time on this. Change number 5, we're continuing to focus most of our attention on LinkedIn. So this is our priority platform and we're putting more effort into engaging with others in and around the industry. Building meaningful connections on LinkedIn remains a top priority, but we realise that we need to set time aside for this, for not just creating and sharing content, but for connecting and speaking with other people on the platform as well. Change number 6, a bit of a change in channels. So after reviewing the metrics, we're stepping back from Facebook almost completely, except for the occasional announcement now and then. We're going to be completely pulling back from Facebook and telling people on Facebook the places that we do hang out and spend our time. We're also going to pull back from Twitter, so not as much going on over there on X, I should say. And we're going to start to engage on threads for the time being and monitor that. We haven't done loads on threads, but we're going to dip our toes a bit more into that and really monitor how that goes. And last but not least, change number 7, we're increasing our focus on YouTube. So expect more how-to style videos, along with our continued commitment to YouTube Shorts and featured guest episodes. YouTube is such a versatile platform, and we are always excited about making the most of it. In the B2B world, a search engine like YouTube mainly gets people asking for how-to and help style content, so that's what we're going to start creating more of for YouTube. There's plenty of other changes that we're making. We had a pretty big to-do list at the end of our content review. It spanned not one, not two, but 3 meetings over the course of the week with the team. But what I've just done is shared with you 7 of the key changes that are all aimed at refining our content strategy, and they start from right now. We're already implementing and making those changes. I'm sharing all of this to let you know, our audience, what we're doing, but I'm not suggesting that you make the same changes at all. Of course, every single content strategy needs to be unique to you and your business and your audience and, of course, your goals. But I hope by sharing what we looked at and what we're doing, it's a really good reminder that evolving your content strategy is not a one-time effort. It really is an ongoing journey. So I hope this has been useful and given you some food for thought. If you ever need any help with your content repurposing, then we at Content 10x offer a fully done-for-you content repurposing service for B2B businesses. We're currently doing some awesome projects with our clients repurposing big research reports, webinars, of course, video podcasts as well, and also event footage as well. So we're working with some companies to repurpose their events. So just head to content10x.com/services to find out more about what we do and how we might be able to help you. Okay, that's a wrap. All that's left to say is thank you so much for listening. Happy repurposing, and I'll catch you in the next one, which will be a guest episode as we kick off the next theme for us to cover on the show.